All right, we are live officially. Let some people get in here. Put my phone up. I haven't posted in a while, so see what people are doing.
I hate how hit or miss YouTube Shorts are.
I know, but on the bright side, it's like when it's good, it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I posted every day 2 weeks ago, and every single video got like a thousands of views.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started posting a week ago, and the videos were kind of like only two of them reached about like 1,000, but the rest are like meh. And
Yeah,
now this week I posted Monday, Tuesday, and then today, and all of them are basically low.
yeah. I mean, isn't TikTok similar, or is TikTok more consistent?
No, I think TikTok. I mean, for me, anyways, it's more consistent. Like for me, well, of course, because I have like a lot of followers, but it has been pretty consistent. Like
Hmm.
I rarely would get like double-digit views, even when I had like lower followers.
Yeah, yeah. YouTube's I feel like YouTube's just so much. I don't even want to say it's more competitive. It's just so competitive, and the algorithm is just so different. All tuned down. First Playboys. What's up, man? Joshua. What's up, dude? What's up, Nikki? Red Pill Rickster. What's up, dude? Yeah, I'm just doing a live stream. We're gonna do a reaction to It's Complicated. Min Al Sabar. What's up, dude? What's up, Lito? Complicated. Let you guys get in here. Yeah, what time do you get off work?
Like you said, 5.
5.
Yeah, technically it should be 6, but everybody in the office leaves at 5, so now I just get off at 5.
Yeah, that's cool. That's not bad. What do you start like 10 in the morning, 9 in the morning?
9, but
Okay.
that's what I like about my job. It's remote, and they don't really keep track of you.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally just like wake. I can wake up at 9:30. I wake up at 10, and then just log on and start working.
Okay.
Sometimes even during the day, I like if I don't have a lot to do, I just go off and do some errands. So it's pretty nice.
So you have some freedom.
Yeah, a lot of freedom.
That's dope. That's pretty cool. Yeah, my dad, he does sales and he's on like the road a lot. Like he has to actually like go and meet with people and take them to dinner and
Hmm.
this other shit. That's interesting. All right. Let me see. What's up from Atlantic City, New Jersey? What's up, dude? Damn. What's up from Houston, man?
Yeah, it's also a different industry because I'm in analytics. I'm like a data analyst, so it's very different from because data analysts they're more so on the back in the background, so they don't have to do like meetings or travel.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we get the privilege of like working from home, I guess.
Right. That's cool though. I mean, I don't. I mean, I guess the freedom's kind of cool. I kind of like sometimes being around like some coworkers and shit. I don't
Yeah,
know.
sometimes I go once a week into the office. Sometimes I don't. It really depends. But it's very free. Like they say, they encourage people to come at least twice a week into the office.
Just to show
But
face.
yeah, but I come in only once.
So, do you have like your own spot at the office, or?
Yeah, I have my own little cubicle, but
Mhm.
most of the space, most of the cubicles in my area are usually empty.
Right.
So I'm not the only one who doesn't want to come into the office.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think if you give most people the choice to like, you can stay home and work from home,
Yeah,
or come into a fucking office, like I think most people are gonna stay home with the family, with the kids, whoever the fuck.
yeah.
More freedom for sure.
I only have two guys who consistently come in. Like I come in every Thursday,
Yeah.
and it's always the same two guys who are there and right and next to me. But
Mm.
the rest of the cubicles are all like empty.
Damn.
Mostly.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever work an office job, man. I don't have the temperament for it. I'm too. I'm too. I can't sit in one spot. You know, I'm always wanting to walk around. Always wanting to fucking move.
So you're ADHD.
I'm ADHD. Yeah, I don't really. I mean, I don't know. I think ADHD is kind of bullshit. I mean, but I'm just kind of like, yeah, I can't. I think ADHD is just a way to say like you're just not like you're not like a docile person, or you're a person with more energy, basically. I think that's what it is. I can't do it. Like I'm just not built for it. It's just like people are built for certain jobs. I'm not built for sitting for long periods of time in bullshitting, and I can't do it. I can't do the politics of work, and if someone doesn't like me or I don't like them, I'm the guy. I just tell them I don't like them, you know, in the nicest way possible. You know, I tell people at work sometimes, you know, we get a new person to be like, listen, man, I just don't really like you that much, but I kind of want to but I want to keep the peace. So I say it in the nicest way possible, but I don't think that would ever work in an office setting. You know what I'm saying?
So what kind of job do you want to have?
That's a good question. I really don't know. I don't know. That's something I've been trying to figure out.
I mean, you can't work in the restaurant business forever. I mean,
no, I don't want to.
Yeah, so you gotta think about where you want to branch out.
No, that's something I've definitely been thinking about. It's a hard thing to figure out, though, man. It's tough. It's tough. All right. Sounds like my brother's schedule. Yeah. Life became complicated after the Y2K. What the hell's that? Started haha at the end of the world. Maybe it was a slow burn. The Y2K. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
What's that?
You don't know Y2K?
No, what is it?
Interesting. No, I mean, this happened when we were like very little, but it was just this. If I'm not mistaken, it's some panic that happened related to the internet.
Okay, I might know what it is. I just don't know the abbreviation. I don't know what that means.
Oh, the version. Yeah, I don't know. I just know it was some internet panic phase.
Y2K. Y2K computers. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know anything really about that, to be honest with you. How old? I forget how old you were. Because I'm 25.
Same.
You're 25 too? Okay, I thought you were around the same age. When the year 2000 came around.
Yes, you should know about this.
Well, you don't even know either.
I've heard of it. I just don't
Yeah,
know.
you've heard of it. I think I've heard of it too. I just don't know what it is. Like if someone asked me to tell me about Y2K, I'd be like, well, I've heard the abbreviation. I just don't know what the fuck it is. All right, guys, we're gonna watch this video. Make sure there's no ads on it right now. Share screen, window. Okay. All right, so I'm going to mute myself. Same fucking thing as last time. Whenever they're talking, I'm muted. It's down there. All right, let's do it.
Why are there so many women today who say they don't need a man?
I mean, because if they want to go 50-50 on things, I just don't need them.
Because there's a lot of bum-ass men out in the world who don't do enough so us women can supply for ourselves now.
Because they're feminists and they like to be feminists.
If a man has friends, doesn't want kids, hires a maid and hires a prostitute, why would a man need a woman?
I don't know how to answer this question.
Because of human connection, of meaningful connection, to correct myself. Just there's nothing that replaces the authenticity of a partnership.
There you go.
Men need women in a sense because, you know, I don't know, like they need our love. You know what I mean?
True. You can't really get true intimacy with a prostitute. You can bust a nut, but that's about it.
Why do women proudly chant "pussy runs the world," but then also complain guys only want sex?
I don't know why they complain about that, but pussy definitely runs the world. You can make a man do a lot of things.
Does pussy actually run the world, or does it just control the men who built and maintain the world?
You know what? I feel attacked by that statement.
I think what bothers me a lot with these videos is women get offended even when guys try to tell them the truth in a very nice and polite way. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not even like, he's not making any accusations. He's not making any blanket statements. He's just asking questions, and they get offended or they feel like they're attacked, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the questions are directed towards the women. So when you ask them a question that they feel is sort of challenging them, then of course they're going to feel attacked.
Because men cannot live without sex. And it really does run the world.
I think it only controls weak men. I don't think he runs any strong men. In fact, the men that rule the world, pussy bends for them. You know what I mean? They, don't control a strong man. A strong man can replace the woman.
Women rule the world, but pussy just manages it.
Do you think there was ever a time when pussy didn't run the world?
No, women's always been the neck of the foundation.
Pussy runs the world. These women were running things back in my parents' generation, your parents' generation. Do you think that's true?
I definitely don't think pussy rules the world per se. It just rules the actual people who are ruling. So let's say, I mean, pussy in a way can be leveraged in the power dynamic, usually with like men who don't have like status or they don't have that power. They're just ordinary men. But men in the position of power, they're usually less susceptible to pussy ruling them over. So in that sense, it doesn't make sense that pussy rules the world. I mean, pussy does rule. Like, I guess in that sense, it does make sense because most people.
I think most like lower value men, quote unquote.
Yeah, I mean, most men in the world aren't in positions of power. So in the sense, pussy does rule most of the world.
Yeah. Well, I think even if like you don't really necessarily have to be in a position of power to like get women or control women in a way. I think it's just about having respect in the relationship. You have to maintain and figure out how to get respect in the relationship, or else it's gonna, pussy will run your world.
Yeah, I don't like that phrase "pussy rules the world" because it doesn't. It rules individual guys. It doesn't rule the world. It's not like women in position of power use their pussy to rule men. It doesn't make sense. Like a woman rules over a guy in like a relationship if he's like desperate, but in the sense of like ruling over like a group of people, because that's what it means by pussy rules the world, as in like the whole world, like the whole power over the people, the world. That honestly doesn't make sense. It all started with Beyonce with the whole like "Who Run the World" girls. That was the first feminist song that came out.
Mm-hmm.
So suddenly, it gave women this false sense of power, thinking like, "Oh yeah, Beyonce, we run the world, girls." Yeah,
I think this is specifically like a Western men problem.
Yeah, and in reality, it doesn't make sense. Women rule the world. Well, not really. I mean, look who most of the presidents are, who are most of the people in position of power. It's men. So women ruling the world. That's there's so few matriarchs in this world, and ever existed even back in the past. So that phrase doesn't even make any sense.
Agreed.
The men is just the head. We draw shit.
Wouldn't that mean women always had power?
Yes. But men cannot accept women having power, so we just have to stand in the back and pretend that we don't have power and use a reverse psychology and just like pretend that we don't, because they like to say they right, so we just like, all right, and give you the idea, and then you just say, yeah, it's your idea. Okay.
So why are women complaining about past oppression if they always had pussy power?
They want equal rights, and that's bullshit.
Personally, I just think they kind of like are backwards in their reasoning on most things. You know what I mean? It's they want to feel a certain amount of power, and that's the only thing that they can kind of reach to say that they have this power over males. So,
do you think there was ever a time when pussy didn't run the world?
Probably not. No.
Wouldn't that mean that women always had power?
Yeah, they definitely did, but we just make men do all the, hard labor work.
Women say they want equal rights, but then when a man talks to them the way they talk to another man, then they say, oh, you're offending me, or oh, you're doing this. But if you want equal rights and you want to be treated equally, then it has to be like always. Like it can't just.
We're definitely seeing what happens when we give women power. When we give women power in this dynamic, they abuse it every time. They get all the power in the Western democracies, and then they get children 90% of the time. They're exiting out of marriages. They get divorce settlements. And they can sit here and claim victim status, which is just insane to me.
I mean, just the pure essence of like using pussy as a power play, and it's never used in a positive way. It's always used to take advantage of men, to either extract like money from them or to make them do what she tells them to. And it put pussy like ruling over. It's never done in a positive way, and that's why it's very different for like when women have this power versus a man, because usually some men use power for good, but women use pussy as a power dynamic, but it's never used in a positive way. Like I challenge anyone to think of a way pussy can be used in a positive way.
I agree, and I think if with different power dynamics too, I think men are more capable to show mercy than a female. I think a man would show more mercy than a female. If they're like, if they're in that position, for sure.
In a way, yeah, because for men, there's this sense of camaraderie and sense of duty and obligation. So there's definitely mercy in there for like a real leader, a real man. He has that sense of like mercy, like especially like back in the day, in the medieval times. If a man is like solid and masculine, he has that power of like, oh, I'm gonna show mercy. But if the leader is like not masculine, is like very childish, then he's not gonna show mercy. He's just gonna ruthlessly kill everyone who stands up to him or whatever.
Still there? Can you hear me? Yeah. My thing froze real quick. Hold on. All right, I think I'm good.
Be like, oh, I'm gonna put my hand on a man, and then like when he does it back, like, oh, I'm a woman. but you want equal rights, or you want to like put yourself in a man position, but then you don't want like the actions to come, but only actions you want is beneficial actions.
How many female-dominated industries can you think of that aren't related to sex or beauty?
Not a lot, and that should change. Society it's set up for that.
How do we change that?
Great question. Let women take over. Change the mindsets.
How many female-dominated industries can you think of that aren't related to sex or beauty?
Christina Aguilera. She is my idol. Janis Joplin. She's my idol. I am a singer-songwriter, and they have never based sex off of their career because they're so talented to do that.
How many female-dominated industries can you think of that aren't related to sex or beauty?
Not one. Not one.
Are men more likely to use power to get sex, or are women more likely to use sex to get power?
Ooh. I think women are more likely to use sex to get power.
What is the difference between sexually empowering women versus sexually objectifying women?
I personally don't think there is a difference. I think those are the same thing, one and the same. I think they basically are. It's almost like if someone's using reverse psychology on you, like they want to be able to use your sexuality to advertise things. They want to be able to use your sexuality for whatever purpose that they twist.
Men want money, and women want power. That's what it comes down to.
I like how she asked her a question: what industry besides beauty? And what was
Christina Aguilera.
Yeah, she said Christina Aguilera. Well, technically, she used her beauty in her singing career. I highly doubt she would be as popular as she was if she wasn't good looking in the face and the body. I mean, if you watched any of her music video, even like she performed in burlesque. I mean, that's somewhere you have to be good looking and have a good toned body.
Burlesque is a sexual type show. I think that's like that's similar to like a brothel kind of get up, like a stripper. Like I think the clothing is similar.
It's like a more classy strip club.
Is it? Okay. But it's still sexual, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet, too, like, you look up Christina Aguilera on Google, there's going to be some, like, risky photos on there.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at any music video for Christina Aguilera, they're never, like, G-rated. It's always very sex appeal. It's always her showing herself off in makeup and dancing around, showing herself off. So that's... No, even the music industry. Women use sex because sex sells.
It's the woman into. All they have to do is, it's kind of like in the Bible. They said, no, you should want to be like God. Or the serpent said, you could be like God. The woman falls into that very easily. So her head gets blown up, call it empowerment, and she'll do whatever she thinks is empowering.
So isn't it entirely subjective?
Yes, all of it.
Do you think the sexual empowerment of women in any way contributes to their own objectification?
Yes. I think it's all a trick to take advantage of them.
Most female-dominated industries are sex or beauty related, correct?
Yeah, that's the way things are right now. That should change.
Well, right, but why would women want to give up their power if they can use it to,
Because it shouldn't be the only power that we're able to hold in society.
Well, whether it should
When you don't give women a fair chance to gain power, they're going to do whatever it takes.
Well, is there anything stopping women from getting power any other way?
Yes, men.
Well, I mean, but men also give women their power.
But if they're so superior and they're so smart and men ain't shit, then why can't they get past men? How are men stopping them if they ain't shit? Like, if men are stupid and men are trash, like, you should have no problem getting what you want.
Yeah, I mean, if they're so powerful, so much smarter than men, and yet she says, what's stopping women? And she says men. Well, can't you outsmart men? I mean, if you can do
Yeah,
what
they
you
say they're
you
stupid.
you can find a way to gain that power and trick men or to outsmart them, but no, it never happens. And this girl has been going viral on TikTok because of her crazy eyes.
Yeah, she does have crazy eyes. Her
That's
face is
crazy. She
getting
has crazy. She's like she's Lana Rhodes with crazy eyes.
Do you think that they're really her eyes, or does she put contacts in there? What do you think?
It doesn't matter if it's contacts or not. It's just the width. It's just the whole size of her eyes. I don't know if she's.
Yeah, dilate. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
If you see that much of the whites of your eyes, like that's, this place has been fucked up.
Yeah, contacts only change maybe like the eye color if they're special kind, but they don't change the size because hers are like the girl on the right. Hers are pretty big, but they're not like the ones on the left because the one on the left is showing way too much white. And that's what differences between crazy eyes and normal eyes is the amount of whites that's shown.
Right.
As you can see, she when she talks, the amount of white, like especially like in the left side and upper portion, that's what makes it crazy. But the girl on the right, she just has equal amounts of white on left and right, and so it just looks very proportional and calm and pretty. And the one on the right is just like very wide-eyed. I don't know if she's because she's drunk or she's trying to focus, but her eyes are way too wide to be like normal.
I think alcohol just brings out who you really are. So if she's crazy like this and this is how she really looks, I think that's a reflection of how she really is, like inside.
Just by the way she acts, I mean, if we're going to continue watching, she acts like this the whole video. Very
obnoxious.
Yeah, very, very obnoxious, very challenging. And whenever any questions asked of her, she's always denying, always trying to stay on her point. And even when she's being caught or like proven wrong, she still doubles down. So,
yep.
Correct?
Not enough of it.
Well, obviously, if all
Not
the
in
men,
the ways it matters.
if all the men in the world were gay, how would women get power?
Because they're fucking women.
What does that mean?
They're strong and better than men.
Well, right, but I'm saying if women couldn't.
Strong and better than men, but men are holding them back. See, this is probably the most frustrating thing because it's like there's no logic behind it, and they sit here and then they laugh and then they giggle about it. They know they make no sense, and they've been allowed to make no sense by their peers, by their friends, by their parents, and they can just act this way. They can act rude and obnoxious and disrespectful and laugh about it and then claim they're fucking victims. And this is the shit that frustrates me and most guys, is that no one checks them. And if they do get checked, then that guy or that girl is fucking ostracized. And that's wrong.
Yeah, and you can tell by the way she's acting. She's very cocky and she's very misinterest. So she has this view of men. She's definitely a man hater. 100%. And it really shows in her answers. She doesn't back down and she doubles down. And whenever he asks her a question, she always follows the logic of a misinterest. Oh, it's the men's fault. Men ain't shit. The women are superior. And that's definitely not a very healthy way to live and think. And unfortunately, that's how many women are in America. And those are the kind of women you should be aware of and keep your distance, because there's no point in arguing with them or trying to prove them wrong or even trying to have like a relationship with them. It's not going to end well, and you're just going to stress yourself out. And there's no point in proving her wrong or trying to help her, because she's already, women like this, they're too far gone. And you won't be able to help her. The only way that she'll be fixed is if she comes to the realization by herself, or if somebody she really respects, like a woman, tells her that, but I very much doubt it. So it's only until too late will she realize the way she's living is very self-sabotaging.
Use sex to control men, then how would they get power?
Skip.
Women are more likely to use sex to get power.
What is the difference between sexually empowering women versus sexually objectifying women?
Okay, sexually empowering women would definitely mean like uplifting and like complimenting like, "Ooh, girl, you look good, but not too close," because it could easily be turned into, "Ooh, girl, you look too good. That's a whole ass snack," and then now that's harassment. So there's a fine line in between the two.
Well, isn't it entirely subjective?
Subjective to your own intentions, yes. Like, so maybe your tone of voice or your implication in the fact, or however you were trying to come off at the matter. So I think it all has to do with the subject to intention, right?
Men don't have a say in women's sex life.
Do you think the sexual empowerment of women in any way contributes to their own objectification?
No.
Does the fact that porn and OnlyFans exist prove that women are okay being objectified as long as they're getting paid?
No. It means that we can use our body the way that we want to without men's control.
Do you consider sex work to be real work?
Yes. Yes. And if you don't, you suck.
Why are women more accepting of women who can sell sex, but are less likely to accept a man who can buy it?
Because it's empowering to be able to do what you want with your body when you want to be able to do it.
But isn't that like shaming your own customers?
No.
Well, how can you be a victim of your own product?
So like, all of his questions are like accountability questions, and they just fucking like that is just like repulsive. Like they just fucking they're literally like the fucking virus program, Mr. Smith from fucking Matrix, and they're just dodging. Boom, accountability. Boom, accountability. It's fucking dodging that shit, but dodging and weaving. It's amazing. Like literally, like he proves his point, and it's logical, and it's like okay, well, like that's an interesting way to think about it. And she's just like, no. Like it's like you're clearly wrong. Like just admit like you're wrong. Like he's like that's a valid question. Like, but if she says that she's wrong, that means that she's being held accountable. Like she's taking some sort of accountability for her beliefs, and that's what bothers me. It's like, God, like you guys like raising these girls, man. You gotta like they gotta be held accountable for fucking something in their life, man. Like everything. They never. There's a very rare woman to be like, yes, you're right, I'm wrong. Very rare. Very, very, very rare. And that's not good. That's not good for you. That's not good for them. That's not good for society as a whole. They need to take accountability for their fucking mistakes and when they're wrong.
Yeah, especially this girl. She's very trying to avoid agreeing with the guy because she keeps saying no, but then proving his point. Especially when he said, well, isn't women like things like porn and OnlyFans prove that women are okay with being objectified as long as they're being paid? Mm-hmm. And she's like, no. And she's like, because it's empowering and women being able to do what they like to do. And
she just wants to say no to all of his questions. She doesn't want like anything that makes females or herself or anyone like look bad. That's not a guy. Like she's gonna deny and dodge. It's just ridiculous. Like guys do not do that. Majority of men like they're like, yeah, you're right. Like guys need to work on this, and yeah, girls need to work on that. Like overall, we're pretty truthful because we understand. Women hate each other, but still want to defend each other. And I don't understand it. It's like this weird, nonsensical fucking just cycle of shit.
This is a clear example. There's a difference between listening to understand and listening to respond. She's clearly listening to respond. Like she's not really hearing what he's saying. She's hearing, like she's listening to what he says. She automatically denies it, and then just while she's listening, she's thinking of how to respond. She's not really listening to like first understand what he's saying and then respond. She's just like no, and then just responds to the way she wants to respond without first understanding his point of view. So
because it's my fucking body.
My body, my choice.
My body, my choice.
Why do women often claim victimhood by the very thing they use to empower themselves?
I believe in that question. I do believe that women do. They do that Me Too shit, and I don't believe in that. Like you say you want to like empower yourself and then use this as like like a beneficial factor, but then you claim victim, and I think it's just a money aspect.
Does the fact that porn and OnlyFans exist prove that women are okay being objectified as long as they're getting paid?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you consider sex work to be real work?
No. Well, yeah, for porn stars and OnlyFans, because they get that dough. They're millionaires off OnlyFans.
Why is porn legal but prostitution isn't?
Tell me that. Why? And tell me this. Why can you go out and have sex with 20 million men for free and then nothing happens? But as soon as you want to put a price on your worth, it's illegal. Hello. That's the question.
Do you believe all adults have sexual needs?
Of course.
Of course, you couldn't
Buy
live
a
life.
vibrator.
You could not live life without sex. It's impossible.
Should lonely men be expected to satisfy their sexual needs by watching porn?
Yes and no. If they're really desperate, then yes. But if they can wait for a woman, then they should not watch porn.
They can if that's what they want, then I think that it should go that way, or buy prostitutes.
If so, why would men still crave sex when porn is free and available all over the internet?
Because you don't get how long it takes for you to find the right porn.
Because the women don't understand that men actually are more horny than women themselves. And they actually need a sex life, otherwise they cannot function at all. And I know that because I've had like ex-boyfriends that cannot live without sex.
Do you consider sex work to be real work?
Not really, no.
But do you think most women consider sex work to be real work?
Yeah, the empowerment thing, trying to make it sound like it's more than it is, so that they can feel good about it, kind of thing. But I don't believe it is real work at all.
Why are women more accepting of women who can sell sex, but are less likely to accept a man who can buy it?
Ooh, that's a good question. More double standards. Just they don't like reality very much.
Isn't that shaming your own customers?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Isn't that like complaining about crackheads while you're selling crack?
Exactly the same. Yeah.
If prostitution was legal, do you think we'd have a better society?
Ooh.
Yo, what do you think about that? I think if prostitution was legal, I think that would honestly, I think it is legal actually in Vegas because I've seen it. It's like everywhere, and they have brothels and stuff like that. But honestly, I feel like that'd be more of an equal playing field. I think that would change things quite a bit if prostitution was legal. You there? All right, I guess it's just me. What do you guys think? I think that honestly it'd be a good thing.
Yeah, there's definitely because if you look at the Netherlands, prostitution there is legal, and their society is doing pretty well. And just the fact of prostitution being legal is not like detrimental in any way, as far as I was seeing it. So I think if prostitution was legal, well, you see, if prostitution was legal, then that goes back to women using pussy as power.
As a weapon,
Because-
yeah. That would equal the playing field.
Yeah, because if prostitution is legal, then women don't have that power, because if a man really wants to, he just goes and pays a woman, just a professional, to have sex with.
Right, and that would remove the legal gray area too. You know what I mean? Because don't get me wrong, and I think a lot of guys know this too, is that there are a lot of girls right now getting paid by men, older men, where the hell, to have sex with them in exchange for money. But a lot of them want sugar daddies, quote unquote, without giving them the sugar. So I think with prostitution, that would equal the playing field. So instead of having a sugar baby that doesn't want to give up the sugar, quote unquote, you can just do legal prostitution.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, because sugar babies, though, the only reason men do that is because they just want at least attention from women.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if the woman doesn't give him sex, at least she, uses credit card to pay for stuff, or talks to him, or even like just has dinner with him, just talks to him. And it's nothing really sexual. But if prostitution was legal, then it's this services like that, you wouldn't have to have like a sugar baby. It would be literally just pay a prostitute to do those the same exact things, and that's it. And I mean, you pay that prostitute to do things you want her to do, and if you really wanted to, you could also pay her to have sex with you.
Do you think that modern day women, like in the West, do you think that they would be for or against this? Because I'm honestly torn. I feel like they would be torn too. I feel like it'd be like half and half. I think half of them would be like all for it, and I think the other half would be completely against it. But I think all of them, though, majority, still believe in the same thing, which is body positivity. But I think half of them realize that the power is getting taken away from them if you have legal prostitution, and the other half just wants women to be liberated, quote unquote.
I think that publicly they would be for it, but deep down they would really be against it.
I agree. But honestly, if it's regulated, you regulate it, you make sure it's not as corrupt, and you put some fair pricing and stuff like that on there. I see nothing wrong with it. If it's completely safe and there's rules and laws behind it, I'm all for it.
Yeah, but plus making it something legal automatically drops the price of it. So at the moment, if you want to hire a prostitute, it's gonna cost you. But if it becomes legal, then suddenly the price drops because it's legal when you have more quantity entering the marketplace. And you know how supply and demand works. There's more supply that meets with demand, then suddenly the price drops because if there's so much supply suddenly flooding the market, they have to drop their prices to compete.
Fair exchange. Guys want sex, girls want money. Boom. There you go.
Yeah.
Not really, to be honest with you. I can't say I think we'd be better as a society at all. Not really.
Yes, I do consider sex work is real work. We're the work of all time. We're going to last longer than any other industry. We've been here all before, okay? And we're still going to be here. When computers and everything take over, they're still going to want a physical woman to get it done, okay? We're going to be here.
If prostitution was legal, do you think we'd have a better society?
Yes.
Why?
Everybody would be happy.
Honestly, no, because I think we need to go back to old school values more so than this like do you boo boo type.
All right, real quick. Old school values. She's in a sexy police SWAT outfit on the Vegas Strip with their homegirl, and she looks like a mom. All right. Old school values.
Type of thing that's going on. I think it's more important to re-register ourselves with old school values, being committed, and making that investment into each other and making that commitment, because it's scary, yeah, but it means something. It means a lot more.
Do you think the solution could be prostitution, the world's oldest institution?
Yes. I don't see anything wrong with prostitution as long as it's consensual, legal, and safe.
I think the solution is always prostitution, but it's a way of saying that because not prostitution is sex work. Because prostitution is it's like a derogatory term, and it's meant to like say like people on the corner or like a less than person. Sex work is more like therapy, spending time, not just like that, because it's not always.
That's something women do. They try to decrease the meaning of words. Like they don't like to use the word prostitution because that has a negative connotation. So they use the word sex work because that's a nicer term. It's a nicer word, but the act is still the same. It's still sex industry. You're still selling your body. It's still prostitution. Even if you don't like the word, the reality of it is still the fucking same. And this is another thing, like these girls, like their parents and their friends messed up when raising them, is they let them do this. Like they avoid reality. Like they dodge reality. They dodge accountability.
Yeah, it's just word policing. it's saying, oh, this word is derogatory, you should use this word instead. Well, I mean, they're synonyms. They mean the same exact thing, except one is hurtful and the other isn't. But it's the same thing. I don't see how one can be hurtful and the other isn't if they have the same exact definition. So that's pretty weird.
That it's more to, we're more than just that.
Well, what about when it's like done, in brothels as opposed to streetwalkers?
Okay, so that's when they can put a price on it, then that's when it's okay. But it's like, you're not gonna tax me for my body. Like, how dare you try to tax me, or like I have to pay for your service, like, and I'm the one doing the service. Like, no, I do not believe in that. Like, no, how can you tax us for something that's done for free every fucking day? No.
Wouldn't relationships be built on love rather than sex and manipulation?
I think that the opposite would happen if prostitution was legalized.
Well, if a guy could get sex anytime he wanted, really easily, why would he need to be in a relationship for any reason other than love?
Because if you're in a relationship for love, you should be able to get sex anytime you want to and not find it elsewhere.
I don't think any of the relationships are built on love anyway. Like, I think all of this is a big excuse. Like, we're making excuses just to go about this daily dance.
Wouldn't women be more accountable and make more effort to create loving relationships?
Yes, I believe so.
Wouldn't it remove any legal liabilities for men trying to get sex?
Yes.
Wouldn't it remove the possibility of rejection?
Yeah.
Wouldn't men be more fulfilled and less angry and violent?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be government regulated and generate tax revenue?
Yeah. Like I heard in certain places in near Nevada and near in Las Vegas where they actually making tax money off of it. Hey, people gonna do it regardless. It's just gonna happen.
So can you think of any reasons not to legalize it?
No.
Do you think if prostitution was cheap and accessible, we'd have a better society?
Yes. And safer society, because it would be included in law and protected by law.
So don't women often look for sugar daddies and men often look for trophy wives?
Yes.
Don't women often look for sugar daddies and men look for trophy wives?
Yes.
Do you believe it's generally true men objectify women sexually while women objectify men financially?
Absolutely.
Isn't it generally true that men seek the hottest woman they can afford while women seek the richest man they can attract?
Definitely.
Don't men want trophy wives and women want sugar daddies?
That's the game.
So how is dating not just a loose form of prostitution?
That's all it is. It's prostitution in slow motion, low key.
So then why would it be bad to legalize it if it's already happening?
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, you got me on that one, I guess. Yeah.
Why should men pay?
See, guys will admit, like, oh, you got me. That's kind of true. Like, you have a point. He's put those other girls like in that corner like numerous times, and they just dodge that shit. Even they look ridiculous. Like, they're clearly wrong. Like, he clearly proved their beliefs or their idea, what they said incorrect, and they still dodge it. I mean, that's the shit that kind of really that bothers me.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard a woman say, "Oh, you got me," or like, "Oh yeah, you're right." It's always the guys that say that. The women, when they get caught, they just say, or like that girl said, she's like, "Skip," or they just start laughing, or they're
right.
just,
I'm not wrong. Just get the question, like, because she knows she's in a corner. Like, she knows that she's probably wrong, but they don't care if they're wrong because they feel like they're right and they want to be right, even though they're wrong. And so it doesn't matter what facts you throw at them. It doesn't matter if you're telling them that 2 + 2 = 4, but they believe 2 + 2 = 5 their entire life. It doesn't matter who tells them. They're just, you're not going to change their mind. You're not going to.
For the opportunity to maybe get sex instead of just paying for sex.
I know. Go with the sure thing. I would go with the sure thing instead of taking a woman out and spending $200 on dinner. Might as well just give her that $200 and get to it.
You're paying for the time and the woman's worth. You're not paying for an action or a transaction.
But wouldn't the marketplace
she sounds like she's like corporatizing like prostitution. Yes, you are. If a guy is paying you and you're a prostitute, he's paying you for the simple act, nothing else, not your fucking personality, not your time. He's paying you to fuck and then paying you to go. Like that. That's it. That is the transaction. It is very simple. Very simple.
I mean, even dating is pretty transactional. I mean, if we're talking about just like traditional dating norms, a man is paying for a woman's time. Like he's paying for her to go on a date with him. She's going out to go out with him to like a restaurant or cafe or whatever, and then he pays for the bill. He's basically paying for her time, not necessarily paying for her to have sex, but he's paying for the time she's being spent. And how the night goes, it really depends on the combination of the guy and the woman. Will the guy get his money worth or will he not? And that's something men should be aware of, because women are also like investments. There are some women men keep investing into, hoping for that outcome, and they keep investing more and more and more, when it's obvious to any outsider that this is pointless investment and this is something that you would be better off just dropping. And that happens in a real world where men, they just want that one investment to work. They really want it to work. They believe in it and they keep dropping money on it. And in the end, if they just stopped and just moved on, they would have saved themselves so much stress and money. But they keep on going, and that's, dating is basically like business. You have to think of dating like business. You have to be able to analyze who you're dating, who you're dealing with, and whether it's a good investment or not. You have to understand, is this something that I'll get more bang for my buck, or is this something I have to invest into long term that might give me benefit, like like a relationship or possibly even marriage and kids? Or is this something that's like a short term investment that might pan out, such as women who sleep with you on the first date or who are into like one night stands? That investment, it's very little for the action that you're getting. It's a short term investment, because all you have to do is just buy her a drink, buy her a couple of drinks, or buy her dinner, and then at the end of the night you get to sleep with her. While other women, you have to invest more money into her, because she's not looking to just like hook up or whatever. She's more of a relationship stuff, and you have to invest more into it. And then long term, something might pan out, and maybe it won't. Same thing with short term investments. You invest thinking you're going to get the stuff, and you don't. It's not a given, because some men, like I said, it depends if you get your bang for your buck. It also depends on the guy and how well is he able to advertise himself to be able to get more bang for the buck. Because you hear many women saying, "Oh, he's too nice." Well, if that guy wasn't so like simpy and actually had some sexual attraction to him, some like masculine sexual attraction, he would get by so much farther and get more things done than if he was the way that he acted.
Determine what the woman's worth is?
No, the woman determines her worth.
Well, she can ask a certain price, but
yeah, she can ask, and if he feels that she's valuable enough, then he will supply that demand.
Wouldn't it end simping and shift the sexual marketplace to where women have to compete for the men?
I guess I don't really see how it does that.
Well, why should men pay for the opportunity to get sex instead of just paying for sex?
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. Yeah, it kind of it kind of swaps some power around a bit. I can see that.
Wouldn't it also flood the market and drive the prices down?
No.
Well, obviously, if you had just like an influx of women selling sex, there'd be a greater supply, right?
But who's to say there would be an influx?
Well, obviously, look how many women are doing OnlyFans right now.
Right.
So I'm just saying, like, obviously, if
OnlyFans and prostitution is not the same thing. Selling your body for sex and selling your body not for sex are two totally different things. However, a woman should be able to do whatever she wants with her body, just like a man can.
So lastly, do you think if prostitution was cheap and accessible, there'd be less rape and sexual violence?
Yes.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but I think if men
This is more wordplay, more wordplay. OnlyFans, it's not the same thing. Prostitution, I agree, it's not the same exact thing, but it's very similar. It's a very fine line. It's almost like I would say similar to being like a stripper, where you're not directly having sex with your clients, although some do, but you are selling your body. Like it is a sexual act. It's in the sex industry, and I would say a lot of these OnlyFans girls, they do have a link where you can book them for private sessions, quote unquote. And I believe a lot of them would become potential prostitutes if it was legal.
Yeah, I think OnlyFans is a fine line between prostitution and porn, because porn is just videos and it's just women posting themselves having sex, while OnlyFans is sort of a mix of both. It can be just porn, or like you said, they could also be selling their services, or they're making their own content, and they can be fucking whoever they choose to, because in porn you don't choose. It's more so like it's a business. A male porn star gets matched with a female porn star, and they both don't get a choice on who they have to fuck. But OnlyFans, you do get the choice of who you're fucking on camera and what kind of content you make, and you can also sell your services. So, and did you notice how she was so happy with herself? She deflected. He asked a question, she deflected it, and then he just moved on because he knew there was like no point in asking her again. And she was just like all happy. She's like, "Oh yeah, I won." Huh. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I noticed. I know that because women have a tendency, like, you'll ask them a question and they'll deflect the question, and now you're like on trial, and they're like accusing you and trying to insinuate things. So I think that he kind of, it's complicated. He's a smart guy, so I think that he kind of knew what was going on.
men could be able to get it up a little bit more for women that are willing, there would be a lot less crime.
Do you think that grape is about sex or about power?
Power. Power and control.
So if grape isn't about sex, if it's all about power, why wouldn't evil men just assault women and not bother having sex with them?
But some do.
Okay, real quick. I want to keep pausing. Grape is not about power. It is a pure, I would say 90% of the time, it is purely a biological urge. Women think that men want to be like superior to them, and I don't really think that they fully understand men. They understand the sexual part of men, but they don't understand men as a whole. Men are not that power hungry. Women are very power hungry. Men could really care less about power. Most of them just want money and stability. So grape really has nothing to do with the power dynamic.
Right, but isn't it really all about power and also sex?
No, I feel like it's more about power and control, and feeling like that you took something like that is just priceless, but you have that, like, that you did that, and that you violate that person in that way, that you have some type of like that you have that over that person, like.
Right, but I mean, like, you know, whenever a guy would get robbed or mugged or beat up and stuff,
It's
why don't they have sex with
that's
them?
a valuable, that's like materialistic stuff. But when you like put a price on that, and then it still gets taken as like you're not only robbing me, but you're violating and doing that also. So it's like a combine of like violations.
Wouldn't men be more fulfilled and less angry and violent?
Yes.
Do you think there would be less rape and sexual assault?
Yes.
In some cases, men see someone who is a prostitute as a way to take out their frustrations because they're paying her.
Sure, but I mean, if it was done safely with brothel.
they talk about men like with no respect. Like they talk about men like they're these just uncontrollable fucking animals that are just killing and beating and raping and pillaging. And men are pretty simple, man. Most men, I would say 90% are good, and they're not raping and they're not beating and they're not pillaging. And if prostitution was legal, I don't think that they would be taking out their aggression on any prostitutes. I really don't think that. I don't think that would happen at all. It might like maybe like once if it was like around the entire country, like very rare circumstances. But overall, men are pretty good, and I think that it would be. I think honestly, I think legal prostitution would do much more good for for the relationships between men and women um, than the way we're doing things right now. I think it would be a really good thing, to be honest with you.
That black girl was having a very hard time propping up her points because she wasn't making any sense whatsoever. Because the whole point of rape, it's a combination of control, power, and sex. So the whole point is you get like you relieve that sexual urge and you feel the power you have over the woman in getting it. So it's not just power. You're getting something out of it. If it was just a power play, then you wouldn't, rape her. You would just do anything physical to overpower her, but you wouldn't rape her because once rape is involved, it also becomes a sex thing. It's power and sex. Why would you want to have sex with someone if it's not something that you want to do? Like it's not something. It's something that you want to relieve an urge. I don't see why you would do it. You don't have to do it to establish power, and you wouldn't do it if you didn't want to. You can just establish power in other ways. So she was having a very hard time, and she at the end did not make her point.
Yeah, honestly, I think I don't. That's not the first time I've heard that. I think a lot of women, they definitely they don't fully understand it, but the one thing that they pretty much understand about guys is the sexual part, right? They understand what guys are attracted to. They understand like a bit of what gets guys off and stuff like that. But besides that aspect, the sexual aspect, they don't really understand men. Like they think that they think men are like women but stronger, right? So they think that they're like thinking the same things that they are. They think that they're like these calculating, always power hungry, um, always looking to get the leg up. And that's how women are. Men really aren't like that. Men just kind of want like a girl to come home to that's attractive. They want to have the dog and they want to have like a nice stable house, stable job. Guys are simple, and most guys in their intentions and their wants are pure. But women know other women and they know how they are, and I think that they assume that men are kind of like them but stronger and have more power. And I think that that's where the real like misunderstanding comes between the sexes.
And regulated, then wouldn't that be less likely to happen?
Possibly not. It depends on how well the brothel is run as a
Right, but
business.
I'm saying, I mean, why would that be any more likely to happen than, in just any normal monogamous relationship?
Very good point.
If you are putting a profit on it or you're not, there's always that sick individual that's still going to want to just take what's not theirs, even if it has a price on it.
I don't think it would eliminate it entirely, but you don't even think that it might even reduce the numbers? No. Wouldn't men be more fulfilled and less angry and violent?
Probably, that's possible, yeah.
Do you think there would be less rape and sexual assault?
I think people are always going to do that off of some seeking power over someone else sort of thing. But yeah, if anyone who's been graping out of desperation, I think absolutely you have a solution there. But
don't you think it would reduce it at least?
Yeah, I mean, you would have an impact on some numbers, but yeah, you're always going to have somebody, like I said, trying to exercise power.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Even a very like unattractive, maybe even poor guy, there would be someone out there for him that he could pay. there would be a girl out there that he would be able to pay and fulfill that urge. And I think that that's a great argument too. I think that it would reduce the amount of sexual crimes that there are. I think that, and that's something I truly believe. I think the biggest hurdle, the biggest problem people have with it is the victimization of maybe some of these girls or maybe underage girls getting into the business. But I think if it was heavily regulated, and you got some people in security watching over these girls and stuff like that, I think that it could definitely be a net positive for, I think, society as a whole.
Yeah, for sure. It would definitely make it more safe. Anything that becomes legal automatically makes it cheaper, more accessible, and safer.
All right, give me I'm gonna get like 3 or 4 minutes. I'm just gonna run to the bathroom real quick, and then we can. What video did you want to check out? The Jubilee video?
Yeah, we might have to do that next time.
Next time?
Yeah, I want to go to bed.
I got you. All right. Yeah, guys, we're just gonna do this video for now. It went a little bit longer than I think we thought, but yeah, we're gonna end it here.
All right, and talk to you later.
All right, guys.
Bye.